Welcome to Tender Heart. Love can come to any of us at any age, but it is up to us to hold on to that person and never let them go. But opening up and telling your feelings for someone can be hard. It's really ironic how sometimes we lack the courage and as a result end up regretting our own losses for our entire life because when we had the chance, we let it pass and now it might be too late. This is a story of two such people who loved each other very much. But when they finally found out, the time had already failed them. Before we continue this story, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you get updated every time we post new videos. With that said, let's dive right into it. It all started in the 10th grade. I was sitting in the English class when I looked at the girl sitting right next to me who was supposed to be my best friend in the entire world. The only problem was that friend was not enough to explain all my feelings to her. I used to stare at her long silky hair, her innocent face, her beautiful eyes, and just wish that she was mine. But I also saw that she didn't notice me like that at all. After class, she walked up to me, pulling me out of my trance and asked me for the notes she had missed the day before. I quickly handed them over to her and she said thanks, giving me a kiss on the cheek. I was surprised, happy, nervous, all at the same time. I really wanted to tell her all the things I felt, how I didn't want to be just friends and how I loved her, but my shyness got the better of me and I kept mum. In 11th grade, one day my phone rang. On the other end, it was her. She was in tears and told me how her love had broken her heart. She was a crying mess and asked me to come over because she didn't want to be alone. As expected, I went because I would do anything for her. As I sat next to her on the sofa, I stared at her soft eyes, wishing she was mine. After 2 hours, one romantic movie, and a whole lot of junk food, she finally started to feel a little normal and decided to go to sleep. She looked at me, said thanks, and gave me a kiss on the cheek again. I was getting used to these kisses, but had no courage to confess my love. We reached the senior year and the prom was right here. One day before the dance, she walked to my locker and told me that her date was sick and that she had no one to go with. I remembered that in 7th grade, we had made a promise that if neither of us had dates at prom, we would go together as best friends. And that is what we did. We went. She looked ethereal. We danced, spent amazing time together, and when finally I was dropping her home, she said, "I had the best time, thanks," and gave me a kiss on the cheek. It was killing me. I wanted to tell her I loved her, but I couldn't. A day passed, then a week, then a month, and suddenly, it was graduation day. I watched as her perfect body floated up like an angel up on the stage to get her diploma. All I wanted was for her to be mine, but I had accepted that she will never see me like that. I will always be just a friend to her. Before everyone went home, she came to me and cried as I hugged her, saying, "You're my best friend, thanks," and gave me a kiss on the cheek. I just smiled and watched her walk away. A few years later, I was sitting in the pews of church, where the girl of my dreams was getting married to someone else. I watched her say, "I do," and while I still wanted her to be mine, but alas, she didn't know about my love. Before she drove away, she came to me and said, "You came, thanks," and she kissed me on the cheek. But the next time I saw her was the worst of all. It was her funeral. I stood there looking down at the coffin of a girl who used to be my best friend. At the service, they decided to read a diary entry she had written during high school years, and what I heard left me heartbroken. It read, "I stare at him wishing he was mine, but he doesn't notice me like that, and I know it. I want to tell him. I want him to know that I don't want to be just friends. I love him, but I'm just too shy. I wish he would tell me he loved me." This was the worst thing I had heard, not because of what the words said, but because the big mistake I made not confessing when I had the chance. I cried for hours that night. This story tells us that keeping your feelings hidden will only do you more harm than good. Love is worth the risk, so the next time you have something in your heart, just say it and everything will turn out okay. Hope you liked the video. Leave comments below and tell us your thoughts about the story. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video too. Share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next video with more exciting topics. See ya!